I do want to say two things. I don't own the Slayer Propel 10. I do own the 106 PDL. I requested Old Town to send me that boat over, but as you will see from this video, that does not influence my opinion whatsoever. I'm giving you 100% my honest opinion, feedback, whatever you want to call it, after using these boats. Today I have a good one. We're gonna be comparing the Old Town 106 PDL versus the native Watercraft Slayer Propel Max 10 something. Low names. But I'm gonna give you everything in this video that I know about these two kayaks. I have them on the water. I know how they feel, and let's go. Let's start by saying that these two kayaks are US made kayaks. They're roto-molded, made in the US, so there's no difference between them when it comes to that, which is very, very special. The 106 PDL is made in Old Town, and the native Watercraft, I think, is made in North Carolina. Comparing these two kayaks in 2023 makes it kind of like a harder fight for the 106 PDL to win, because I feel like the 106 PDL is kind of like outdated. It's missing things that new kayaks have. This 106 PDL desperately needs some like updates. Right now, the price difference between the Slayer Max 10 and the 106 PDL is only $250. The Slayer Max is $26.99 and the 106 PDL is $2,449. It's not a major difference, and you do get a lot more goodies on the Slayer Max 10 versus the 106 PDL. Let's start this comparison with the drive. Both drives are proven, they last for a long time, very low maintenance, 5-year warranty, instant reverse. I don't think there's a clear winner between the two drives. The only thing I would add is I feel like it's easier to clear up the grass or whatever gets in that prop with the 106 PDL. If you're gonna hit shallow water, you just open that thing and bring it up without even thinking about it. Well, the Slayer Max, you're gonna have to align the prop. You're gonna have to do things to it. It's an extra step that you have to do that sometimes could be tricky. Also, the layout of the deck on the Slayer Max, having that little bump in the middle like that, is not as nice as sort of having kind of like a flatter deck. Also, the drive on the 106 PDL does have internal storage in there on the drive well that you could put maybe your phone, keys, things like that. You just put it there in front of you, your camera, and you don't have that with the Slayer Max. Another thing I don't like about the Slayer Max is they put a crazy handle right there in the front that when you bring that drive up, it's gonna stay there like it's a, it doesn't work. Now let's talk about the features, and this is where the Slayer Max just totally wins. I mean, let's go over them. In the front, you have a nice handle with a gear track. Put a camera mount there without having to go through a lot of trouble. You could also probably modify that to put a trolley motor there if you want. I did that on the 106 PDLs as well, so it's easy to do, but at least you have like a nice little handle there. If we move a little, just like a little up, we can see that the Slayer Max has a tray for a battery. It has the cutout for the cables and the transducer and all that stuff. It's thought out to be that way. Well, the 106 PDL, you do have a nice hatch, and you could get a battery bag and put it in there, and you could make it work, but it's not, it doesn't come from the factory like the Slayer Max. So people that want to be installing fish finders and things like that, maybe they want to go with the Slayer Max. And there's something else that the Slayer Max has that it just screams like Old Town, update the 106 PDL. A Slayer Max 10, it offers rigging electronic plates. And this is amazing because let's say you want to put cables through the whole of the boat, but you're not sure where you want to put it. What if you make a mistake? You could just put it through those plates, and something goes wrong, you just replace the plate. A lot of times I don't want to do through hole installation on a boat or anything like that because I'm afraid to drill the wrong hole. But with these plates on each side, it makes it so much easier. Like, that's something companies should definitely take into account. And I understand the drawbacks, like maybe that's another place for water to come in, right? Maybe that's another thing to break, but it's nice to have. Another edge that the Slayer Max has is, look at this, it has full-size cavity to put your tackle boxes. The 106 PDL is kind of small, it doesn't quite fit in there, but the Slayer Max 10, you could take decent size Plano boxes and put it there. which is epic. Another advantage that the Max Slayer 10 has over the 106 PDL is look under the seat. It has a tray that you could pull out and put and modify. You could even put dividers in there and throw in different type of thing. The 106 PDL just have a mesh. Sometimes it's very difficult to take that tackle tray out of there. Although I feel like the Old Town 106 PDL seat is more comfortable, it is also kind of difficult to work if you need to move position. Like you have to lift those two handles and push forward, and sometimes if you remove the seat of the boat, you may lose the little things that you need to attach a seat to the boat. A Slayer Max 10 is on a gear track. It's easier to move the seat back and forward. One of the difficulties with that is that if you are in salt water, that connection with the knob might get a little tricky, maybe a little difficult to use. So it could give you some headaches. Also, the plastic may warp, and then it's gonna be difficult to put the seat back there after sometimes. I feel like the Old Town 106 PDL holds the frame better, so you don't have to worry about that. That will only be a problem, again, if you wanna be taking the seat off and putting it back. Let's talk about size. The 106 PDL is 10.5 feet long and 36 inches wide, versus the Slayer Max at 10 feet exactly long and 34 inches wide, which means the 106 PDL is gonna be more stable. And it should be a tad faster, but not really. When I had it on the water, both of them hit 5 miles an hour. Like, I think that's the top speed. But the Slayer Max felt better because it's a slimmer profile and it's also 10 pounds lighter. So it felt a little better on the water. Again, maximum speed, 5 miles an hour, not gonna break any record because it's a 10-foot boat. But being a little wider, like I mentioned earlier, the 106 PDL is gonna be a little more stable. Also, the side of the hull, the W, also makes it a little more stable, which also allows you to carry more weight. The 106 PDL is able to hold 450 pounds versus the Max 10 at 400 pounds. So if you're a bigger guy, if you wanna take more stuff with you, weight is an issue, you may wanna look at the 106 PDL instead of the Slayer Max 10. If we move towards the back to the tank well, you're gonna get a better, longer tank well on the 106 PDL. If you need to take more stuff, the 106 PDL is gonna be a better choice for you. If you're gonna rig your boat to the max, the Slayer Max is gonna be a better choice for you. The Slayer Max in the rear offers a nice way to install a power pole or a motor that goes right there in the middle. And the rudder system is underneath the boat, so it's not gonna interfere with your stuff on top of the boat. And that is a win for that boat if you wanna put a motor on it. Because even though the 106 PDL does have a rear power pole mounting plate, it kinda looks to the side. It's not as nice to put a motor on it. It's not as clean as you would on the Slayer Max 10. But here, a thought that I just came back to me. If you're looking for just a PDL kayak, that's it. You're not gonna put motors on it. You don't really care about too much fish finder installation, none of that, just a simple one. To me, the 106 PDL is gonna be a better boat because it's just that, a PDL boat. That's all you need to focus on. It's solid, well built, a little more stable, costs less money. If you are like me and you wanna rig this thing to the max and you wanna add trolling motors and Bispes or Newport vessel, whatever, and you wanna make it an easy installation and you wanna have all the crazy setup with the fish finder, the batteries and everything, the Slayer Max is gonna be your boat because it allows you to do all that stuff easier. You could modify any kayak to do anything. You could install anything on any kayak. We're talking about how easy it is to actually get it accomplished. And the 106 PDL, you could do a lot because I added a trolling motor to the front and an outboard to the back. But let me tell you, if this was the Slayer, it would have been easier to do and probably would have worked out better because it's a boat designed to bring it on, bring everything on. I think, hey, who am I to talk about prices, but the Slayer Max should be priced maybe $500 more than the PDL, the 106 PDL. And that will make it a more compatible thing. But I feel like the Slayer Max may be underpriced, taking into account today's pricing and all the stuff that you get with that boat. Both offer you rod storage solution, 3 rod holders, flush mounted rod holders on the 106 PDL and molded in rod holders on the Slayer Max. The Slayer Max 10 also offers horizontal rod holders, but it's a 10-foot boat. I don't know like who would do that. And also the way that the paddle is stored, you could cut it in half and put it on the back, which again, why would I do that? The Old Town 106 PDL does have a paddle keeper. Both of them have cup holders and all the little amenities that you need, like rear handles underneath the boat or on their gear tracks. They have all those things.